All right. I prefer this to Into the Spider-Verse. It's a good film, and for me, the visualness, if that's the word right now, the visualness is popular. I mean, the visuals of this film is freaking insane. It is freaking insane, and I just think that it's weird. I think maybe Into the Spider Verse did a lot more creative things, but I just felt like the it was a bit more consistent. The the visual style just had a greater effect on me in this film than in the first film. I was just like, there were just times when I was like, okay, wow, this is, yeah, like, it looks amazing. It looks freaking amazing. And it just puts Pixar to shade. So this is going to be non-spoiler. And because there's something I want to say and I don't want to say, but just my overall feeling on the film is, you see, it's an enjoyable film. And I like the kind of dilemma they put Miles Morales in because he's in a particular dilemma with I don't know what the character is called. He's like the Spider-Man that can I think it's from the Spider-Man from 2019 that can go into many dimensions. But there is a particular dilemma that he's in that's like, oh, this is interesting. This is okay, so you're not really pop up because there's a certain thing that he's got to sort of allow happen and they say, you know what, I ain't gonna allow that to happen. I'm gonna say what's up. I've got to really say what's up and just give it that latatini. Um, but guys, okay, like I've got to keep it a stack here. The I get that it's about many Spider characters and many Spider Men, but the Gwen character I wasn't feeling. You see, this whole Spider Man thing, there's a good and the bad. The bad is the Gwen character. I get that she's a love interest and so forth. I just think her character's whack. I've got to keep it a stack. I just think her character's trash. It's whack. Every time she's on screen, I'm like, I mean, it's a cool outfit, it's a cool costume, but I don't know whether it's her characterization and the voice just rubs me the wrong way. But guys, because there is a scene that involves loads of the Spider-Man. You've seen it in the trailer, but there's a scene that involves loads of the Spider-Man. And for a guy who is still a traditionalist, I'm still about Peter Parker, I was like, okay, you know what? This is actually cool. And just the very creative ways they've tried to interpret different Spider-Man and so forth. And when you just see them all colliding at the same time together, I was like, oh, this just looks crazy. And I just think, when if you watch this film, whether you like it or you hate it, you cannot deny that you've not seen anything like this. Even when you look at Into the Spider-Verse, because they've just taken the visual nature and the creativity to a whole new level. And because there's so many different Spider-Man there, the ideas and the creativity is just now freaking 10, 11 4. So for me, that was the real standard. And the I think they've improved the animation. Just the way that Miles Morales emotes and his way his family emotes as well, and just the kinds of emotions, the expressions they have. I'm like, no, this really pops off. It really pops off and just looks really, really. It just looks amazing to look at. Um, okay, you see, I don't want to because there is a bone I have to pick here. Also, by the way, guys, never watch a film with kids. It is the last time I'm watching a film with kids. At the point, there was a kid just dancing around. I was like, bro, either you're here to watch the film or not. I don't care how young you are. If you're in the cinema, sit your ass down and watch the damn freaking film. Why you running around and say, oh, mama, what the heck? No. Parenting has gotten whack, man. Parenting, I'm gonna induct some parents, bro. Um, the ending. I don't want to spoil anything, and once you guys see it, you will know about the ending. So without spoiling anything, you can't end the film like that. You can't because you can do both. Because when I said that I'm going to be for the ending, those who've seen it have said, well, there's a third film coming in because what's it called Beyond the Spider Verse comes out next year. Cool, I get that, but you still have the responsibility of making a film. Two Towers was still a film in and of itself, but here's the feature film. The best case was Empire Strikes Back. Empire Strikes Back, that had a clear ending, a clear resolution, and then here's the other one. Another great one that I forgot. I've got the poster here. Bro, let me show you. This one. Your boy. Back to the Future 2. Back to the Future 2, which for me is one of my favorite films of all time. One of the most dynamic films ever made. It had a clear beginning, middle, end, but it had a clear ending. But at the same time, it did both. It had a great finite ending to its story, but then it then teased the third part. Because the issue with this story is that you've got to end the story because you've got to respect the film in and of itself. Because literally, as I was watching, I was like, okay, so what are they going to do? What? And bro, everybody in the cinema was like, what? Huh? Because the issue about that though is because this is the issue that I had, like, let's say with Reloaded, which is a film that I love. Because when you end a film like that without a true resolution, that means that that film is wholly dependent on the third film. But even if you're making a trilogy, each film has to be finite. Because again, when you look at Empire Strikes Back, you're like, okay, shit. Okay, based on what we've now learned, what happens between Luke and Vader? But it had a clear ending. It had a clear ending and a definitive ending, which means that you can now watch Empire Strikes Back as a film in and of itself. But when you just have end a film like that, though, then it's like, because it feels cheap. Because then again, it's like you're not respecting the fact that you're making a film. Remember, you're making a film. This isn't an episode. This isn't a TV episode that you can have a cliffhanger. This is a film. And if you're making a film, I want to have a beginning, a middle, and an end. Because the fact that you can do both. You can have an ending and tease the next film, which is what the Back to the Future 2 did so freaking well. So, nah, man, no, that, because for me, did it ruin the film? That's a tough question, bro. No, not really, but at the same time, yes. Because everything was so leading towards a resolution that without that resolution, it just feels as if, okay, what was the point? So for me, there's no point in even, the only point in watching this film again is just to see particular scenes, but it doesn't work as a story because a story has an ending. You can't have a story without an ending, then it's not a freaking story. It's just, it's a piece. A story, by definition, is a beginning, a middle, and an end. That is what a story is. So, yeah, man, I don't know. But look, man, beyond the look, look, the animation is freaking amazing. The visuals are freaking amazing. I really, really loved the Spider-Man 2099 character, the character played by Oscar Isaac. That character was great, bro. And as a guy who, actually, Spider-Man was my guy, and I still want a Spider-Man film that has Peter. My dream is still Peter Parker Spider-Man against Venom and Carnage. That is my dream. Whether that will happen or not, I don't know. But my dream is Peter Parker Spider-Man with Venom and Carnage, either in live action or with his graphics. But if I'm not going to have that, look, Miles Morales, he's cool. I'm still a Peter Parker guy. That will always be my guy because that was the character that I read growing up. But I just think that what they've done with Miles Morales, specifically with his issues at home, his relationship with his parents, relationship with Gwen, and just where he's as Spider-Man, I'm like, okay, this is all cool. But look, I'll speak more. But overall, go and watch it. But when you watch it, come back here and let's discuss the ending. Spoiler review is going to drop very soon, and we may even do a hangout as well. Like that vid, subscribe, one love.